Hey people, it's Steel Gamer, and this is a sort of quick video that's going to go over why the leveling guides for Diablo 2 Resurrected are complete garbage. There's going to be some swearing in this, it's going to be a little brash, and a couple of things that I'll be also addressing some of the replies that I have been getting questions about, and people being snotty with me, and that's going to cover part of this as well. Now, because people are going to have a problem with this, well, I've disabled all comments, so if you really have an issue with me or want to take this up with me, you can contact me here in Discord. There's my Discord information. And one thing I want to point out about Discord is I'm not coming to your damn Discord. You don't need to be inside a Discord server. Add me on Discord as a friend, and then you call me directly. Simple as that. I'm not going to a Discord server. There's none of that shit needed. So if you want to address me, that's how you're going to do it. I'm not coming to your Discord. Simple as that. Again, I'll put that up periodically, and I'll leave that information in the description below this video. All right, that being said, if you have kids or don't like swearing, get out of the room or watch us later or whatever, because I'm going to get into it right now. Okay, so, unlike most people, gamers in general, because gamers are fucking stupid, they just love to talk about how somebody does something that's wrong or you're wrong, and they never provide any explanation. Well, my channel's not like that. For those of you that don't know, a quick summary. I point out stupid shit that people do with their own stupidity, with their own things, and I go over what they're doing. This isn't something I make up. This is just me pulling out situations and applying what they're doing as a whole. So that being said, that's what my channel is about. Let me get into this. As the title of this says, the leveling guides for Diablo 2 Resurrected are complete garbage. And let me explain. And I'm talking about all these fucking streamers in all of these places that put these fucking guides up that are not actual guides. These are not guides. What they are is handheld, spoon-fed information that people always yell at me about asking me I want, and then because it has the word guide in it, people fucking roll over for these assholes that are putting this up. And I am calling them assholes because if you're going to be the forefront in the face of this, and you're going to have people going to you, you need to fucking straighten yourself out and present proper information. Let me begin by explaining the very first thing that's wrong with these guides. If your guide does not explain level progression, and you do not actually have a level 1 when you start this guide, instead what you've done is you've done a point reallocation, where your character is still level fucking 69 or some other random level like that, it is not a fucking leveling guide. Okay? It's not. What you've done is you've just shown people where to put points, which has nothing to do with fucking leveling. You need to have a guide that starts at level 1. It shows you actually playing, where it says, okay, I'm going to allocate this point for this reason. Case in point, this is also going to cover, what I'm about to say now, is going to cover some of the douchebag comments that people are saying to me because they fucking don't understand why I'm saying this shit about this guide. If the guide is shit, I'm going to tell you it's shit, and this is why these guides are all shit. Because none of them, no YouTuber, and it isn't even on fucking Diablo fans, it's not on any of these fucking places, Icy Veins, nothing, that explains the actual point allocation for when you're actually leveling. They only say, when you're level 40, put these points here. That shit doesn't help you. Here is why this is a problem. And for people who don't seem to want to understand this, you don't know how to play the game and are bitching at me for pointing out what the guide doesn't have, because what I'm talking about is the actual learning and playing and understanding the progression. You people are fucking bitching at me saying, oh, it says guide. That means you don't even know how to play the game or don't want to. Because what I'm talking about actually matters when you're actually playing. So here's what I'm talking about. And I'm going to use this as an example consistently through every one of my videos. As a hammered in, and I don't know if any of these people have put up guides about a hammered in. I'm guessing that they have. But I haven't even looked to see if they have them. I've only looked at a few things here and there and tested the guide out to see how well it was, and it was shit. But let me explain here. So, I don't even know if there's hammered in guides. But let me point something out. And if you can't find the information I'm about to tell you, that means the guide is shit. Because here is why the stuff I'm talking about is important. And you can't just open up a character at level fucking 69 and have your stat read point set That doesn't fucking help anybody. All right, so back to the Hammerton issue. When playing a Hammerton, there are two ways to allocate the points where one doesn't fuck you up when you're playing and the other does. So what I'm talking about is there is a proper way to allocate points during a lot of these builds that work, that do something, that allow the build to be playable and viable, and the other way which completely fucks it up. So for example, when you're playing a Hammerton, there is a way to allocate the points where if you don't allocate them right, you're going to eat your mana and you'll be chugging potions left and right. Compared to the other way, if you allocate the points, both cases give you the same damage ratio, but one way allocating the points eats your mana, the other way allocating the points does not. And people saying, well, you can just chug potions, doesn't fucking matter. That means you don't have a fucking clue on why. Why when you're leveling, you're not supposed to be running out of mana that fast. You're not supposed to get 3 shots off and have no mana. You're not supposed to teleport twice and have no fucking mana. You people are retarded if you don't understand that concept. When you're leveling, you're not supposed to be chugging potions like that. If you're chugging potions when you're leveling, then you are doing it wrong. Simple as that. Chugging potions does not circumvent building the character wrong. So, and I guarantee you, if they do have Hammerton guides, none of the guides explain why you would allocate your points this way because of the problems you'll run into when you're playing. If you keep having to chug mana potions, that's not efficient, nor is it viable, and nor is it fucking playable at all. Sure, you can get around it, but that's not the fucking point. You don't want to be chugging potions. You're not supposed to. That's not how this works. So the fact that these guides don't go over the actual leveling progression of where your points get allocated, that will actually fuck you up when you're playing because it's not going to help you to see a guide that says, well, this is an endgame build and all this other shit. Another thing that they don't really go over is gear. And there's a lot of shit that a lot of these guides have said that is absolutely not even true and incorrect because I use some of the stuff that they say nobody would ever use. Or I do things that nobody would ever do, and my character works perfectly fine. And I'm not talking it struggles. It works better than half of this guide shit. So what basically led to this video was I was looking up to see how good of a Java's, the endgame builds mean nothing if you fucking can't use it. So what happened was I was looking up a Javazon guide. And I was looking up what to use, what weapons to use, things like that. Now, what was going on is if you throw, some of the guides said to throw the javelins and use them. Another guide said don't use javelins, use bows. But in either case, I tested both. In both cases, either the javelins were missing half of the shots, which the guide never even bothered explaining. The guy just assumes you're going to fucking throw shit and hit it. And then what happens is the players fucking blame you because your character's somehow not hitting. It makes no fucking sense. Or the arrow guide, which fucking burns the shit out of your mana. So I cut the bullshit. I just stopped doing that because it took me fucking 3 hours, I think, or something like that. It took a while to level from 1 to 17. When I took that shit, I stopped that shit. I took it apart. I redid my stuff. I basically deleted the fucking character. I wasn't going to waste a respec on that. I deleted the fucking character, started over. And when I started using the javelins the way I decided to use them, I went from level 1 to 24 in a matter of 45 minutes, compared to 1 to 17 in a matter of 3 hours. 1 to 3 hours is following the guide. Doing it my way, following the guide, either the arrows or the javelins for throwing them. Here is the fucking problem that people don't seem to understand. If you can't hit a target, you're not going to be able to kill it. If you don't kill it, you don't get the XP. If you don't get the XP, you don't level. It's a chain reaction. So anybody trying to say, well, maybe you weren't aiming, can fuck off. Throwing the javelins on a fucking Javazon when you're leveling is fucking horrible. Stab the bastards. Simple as that. You poke them. Use it as a fucking melee weapon until you get something. So these fucking guides are not telling you, they're not going over the problems you will wind up having, such as missing, what to do if you're missing. Another thing that these fucking guides do, all of them do, for when it comes to energy, they tell you never put points into energy. Bullshit! You have to put points into energy. A guide telling you not to put points into energy while you're leveling is fucking retarded. It needs to be shut down, and nobody should be listening to it. Sorry, it just is. Because the end game builds may not need to put points in energy, because you really don't. But while you're leveling up, it is extremely important to put points into energy. Otherwise, if you're following these guides pulling that, you'll be running away kiting shit and missing these shots half the fucking time. It's ridiculous. So, you guys can follow the guides all you want, but if the guides don't have the information that I specifically mentioned and go over the actual problems you have while you're leveling, and only want to tell you point allocations, fuck off. That's not a good guide. It's garbage. It's as simple as that. Well, I just wanted to get that out of the way. It's TL Gamer signing out. Have a good day, wherever you are.